Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Seaside Chat, where we dive into marine and coastal matters. On this evening's program, we are looking at mapping the ocean and how does marine spatial planning works. And to discuss the subject with me, I've got Director of the Coastal Zone Management Unit, Dr. Leo Brewster. Dr. Leo, can you explain the process of mapping marine spaces and its significance for effective management?
Mapping of the marine space can take various forms. In terms of the marine space for Barbados, we have used LiDAR, which is light imaging and data radar initiatives, so that you can actually map the seafloor from the shoreline out to about 40 meters depth very accurately with laser penetrating radar into the water. In doing that, you actually can pick up all the different features of the seafloor at sub-meter accuracy. Similar to how you would fly for the land component, it gives you the opportunity to do similar for the nearshore environment once the water is clear and the water is not too still but reflective enough that the laser can penetrate. In the areas where you have a lot of wave activity, which is like in the surf zone, sometimes it's very difficult for the laser to penetrate in that area, but normally that would be in less than 2 feet of water. So therefore you already know that that's a very, very shallow area. When you go further off, you can use transect lines with echo sounders, and in doing that, you can then follow a specific line out offshore and then come back inshore, and the echo sounder will send a signal to the seafloor and let it bounce back, and then you can then actually get an idea of charted depths as you're going out along the line, and from that then you would then be able to pick up different reef formations through depth, and also if you have different sand deposits. But that sort of surveying has to be ground truth. So all you will get if you do the hydrographic survey, typically with the echo sounder, is just a series of point locations with different depth charts that you would then have to run through a mapping program that would draw contour lines, and then just like how you would on a land map for terrestrial map reading, etc. You would, based on the contour lines, you would then get an indication as to how the depth changes in certain areas. To validate that work, you then have to do actual bottom sampling in some zones to know if you have sand, coral rubble, or mud or silt or anything. When you go out into the very deep, which is what we're planning to do in August this year with the Marine Institute from Ireland, you then have to do multi-beam sonar, which is where you then take a series of lines of echo sounders displayed behind the back of a vessel, and then they send sonic signals to the seafloor, which go down at depth and send back a return message, and then that can actually give you something of a 3D image of what the deep water looks like. And that's what we're hoping to do for 2 sections of our EEZ, Exclusive Economic Zone, in August and September of this year.
Totally, it sounds like a lot of intense work, but how do you involve the local communities in all this that you're thinking of doing, and how important or valuable is their contributions?
So as part of community involvement, we have actually been able, as part of the marine spatial planning process, to go to certain blue economy sectors and stakeholders, the fishing sector, the energy sector, also some of the water sports operators, etc., to capture information that they would have in terms of significant causes of concern and other sorts of information that occupy the marine space. So in terms of energy, we would have spoken with the energy division regarding the potential for offshore oil and gas, and then they would have identified locations that they thought that were suitable, and then based on some similar work that they would have done as part of that process to identify areas for potential hydrocarbons in the deep, we then take that information and put it onto the map so that we know that this area has been prioritized for offshore oil and gas.
Thank you, Dr. Leo Brewster, head of the Coastal Zone Management Unit. And on this evening's program, we looked at mapping the ocean, how marine spatial planning works. I'm Trevor Thorpe. Until next time, good evening.